So, welcome guys, I'm here with yours and obviously first. And what you're gonna discuss today? We're gonna discuss how to maximize our productivity. So, we know that in the world that we are always gonna receive much more as possible, and that as much more as possible is as well something that has a correlation with as much more I deliver for the person, so the person gives me back more value. That in that case it's money. So the basis of wanting to maximize our productivity is what comes with being productive. That is, receiving money that gives obviously the freedom for doing things. So we want to focus in what is being productive, deliver value. But what's the term of value? Value is something that's useful for other ones. So the first principle that we have to adopt in thinking when you're working is always to ask, so I'm working for someone, from some people. I have to understand, so what in reality the people wants to get? What's the value that is looking for? And obviously, perception of how much valuable I am is something that it's obviously correlated with as well how much scarce is the value that I deliver for other one. So which more people needs something and more scarce this value is present, more gonna be our perception of value about someone. So this is like a concept that's simple. It's the demand and offer, simple demand and economy that we apply in our lives. So we should always look for actions that will leverage more what is my objective, that is receiving much more money as possible. So I have to look for always areas where people will need, and obviously which higher is the horizontal time where this needs gonna happen, better we're gonna see, obviously gonna get projections of receiving. So which more the type of skill set that I am will be needed for a long range of time, better will be so the probability of receiving money. So in nowadays, what's like the perceptions of what's going to be useful in long term. So with the ability that EA has been gaining over the time, what's going to be so how useful about people going to be the work that EA cannot replace. What's like the type of work that EA already does? So EA focus a lot in repetitive tasks, and so this tends to be the one with like less leverage. So I'm a bit less scarce in doing that work. For example, people that work with Uber, taxis, they don't have like any type of comparative advantage between them, because it's a type of work with low barrier of entry, so everyone can enter if they can, like they know how to drive, and the majority of the ones they can. And so what's like the comparative advantage that a people in that type of spot has in comparison with others? They don't have. So that's why you're not someone that is rich in that niche. But now if we look probably for the people that work and build these EAs, the programmers, the engineers, they're type of people that we have a lot of them for them, because what they produce is something that creates comparative advantages for people that have the processes of what they work and what they produce. So EA can be applied by a hospital, and so can establish a comparative advantage in comparison with other hospitals, because if I have EA in my work, I probably can have like high ability to predict if someone is with a disease or not. I can predict a disease, if people have some type of cancer or not. So basically, EA it can be, and it is people that works with EA, they will gonna always gonna be valid because the potential of how much or how useful the work that they do, that is EA prompts that obviously they're gonna be consumed by the clients. The basically all jobs EA can be applied, and so EA has the ability to get present in the every type of job, whether you are accounting, whether you are in management. So it's important so to understand that what I'm producing is valuable. That's something, that's a type of criteria that the workers, the people that produce EA, they qualify in what I call as jobs that are something that and respect the principle of leverage. So a lot of demand by our job, and obviously it's important that we just not cannot just look for the demands that the work has. We have to look as well for something that we like, something that we have ability to do it, because it's not something useful when what you do is obviously has demand but has a low barrier entry, so everyone's going to enter. So for example, imagine that now we will be able to, just by saying, putting an EA can do wherever I want, just by writing, just by me writing wherever I want. I make it, I write, and the EA brings me back, for example, a system of accounting that I've been specified by words, and it can be pretty nice, and so it's practical to be done. What's later on, so what's important to look for? If something that doesn't give effort, doesn't demand effort for me to be good something with that, it's a job that obviously more people will so the appeal to enter, because if it's lower here and you can see that something that has demand, other ones will see too. So we have to look and we have to focus in jobs that need some type of work to enter, because it's like like barriers to entry that will make so someone will not pass, and so they will not be your competition, and so they will not be a competitors by the wages, and so they're not will be increase the type of offer for the value that people demand from their job that you do. So it's important to look for. That's why it's not so easy, because the thing to make you rich is something that has to be demand, but to have low offer, we have as well to look that probably one of the criteria to have low offer is probably because it's easy, it's difficult to be on it, and so you have to look, and you have to do that type of bet when you choose a work. We have to get and to do a bet to understand so where's going to be my time going to be spent, and so if it's going to have demand. But what are like the frameworks, the tools that we have that can be useful in a way that so I can look that in future probably is going to be useful. So we have works in business, we have the pistol. I can look for political, I can look so for economical way. So in economical, what I've been used, demand and offer type of comparison. Political, I can look if what the good work that I'm going to do is something that's obviously held in legal ways. I can look to as well if in the future probably if it's something that aggregates for society at all, it's not going to be a job that's going to disappear. And obviously I can look as well in the perspective of technologically looking for if I'm going to be able to use technologies that this work demands to produce so the value. For example, for engineering, I have to get the knowledge if I'm able, if I do like, if I'm in ability to work with computers, with code, with logic, to build structures of EA, the networks which they work on. So I have to do this type of filter that helps me to get the two main concepts when I choose the work, understanding if others will perceive as valuable, and obviously if the time that I'm going to spend, if I'm going to like what I will be doing. So it's always important to be in terms of systems. We have to understand the components which we're going to interact during our lifetime to understand so the potential feedbacks that we're going to receive. There's some type of prediction that will come far from a bet, but more as a process of thinking, as a problem solving that you have to do by using that type of frameworks. So, with that said, what will be as well important to look is the importance of understanding if something is valuable, but it's really important to test if I really do like what I'm gonna do. It's really important. And how we can do it? Well, the best way to have to kind of simulate what's gonna do in the future is by doing a simulation right now. So trying to test, trying to give to get some work of the profession that I'm gonna adopt and see so if I do like what's like the workflow and not getting attached from things that just represent 10-5% of a work. Yeah, I think it's good, but probably can be not something that it's so useful like it's so useful and so pleasant for me just by ideologically talking, but it just not represents more than like 10% of what a really profession is about. So it's really important. I've been so talking about the way that I choose my work field, and I expect to help you to do the same decision. Have you a nice day.